in the background.
Good
evening, everybody, and how are you on this? Well, it's a Wednesday, so that's that over. Right, who have I got in? At the moment, I have JP from JP Woodwork and Dale at Maple Tree Studios, and we may well be having Andy from AHB Spoke popping in as well at some point. So I'll pop these guys in the background. Let me bring up the YouTube chat, stick the overhead on, and there we have. This is what we're doing tonight. I'm doing some more hollowing. How unusual for me, you might say. So it's a piece of ash. It's about 7 inches long by about 4 inches square at the moment. As you can see, it's got a huge great void down one side. So this is going to be one of them pieces that end up being a vase type shape, probably going to be coloured with a void in one side of it. So I'll start turning and the guys can let me know what's going on.
Go for it, mate.
Okay, shall I read out who's in the chat then?
Yeah, go on.
Should I do it in a stupid voice or just my voice, which is pretty stupid anyway? No, I'll do my voice. Hello! Right. And in the chat, we have the ever lovely Brent Bokoff, the singular Brian at Woodturning, the David Nichols, the David Vaughan, the Douglas Munham, the Gerard French Tunner, the Harry, all the Robert at Hodgepodge Woodcraft. We have the Ian Leonard, the Jennifer's Crafting Creations, the John Scarborough, the Lawrence Bagida, the Nantic River Woodcrafting with Chris Nealon, the Paul Hewton, the Robert Dorman, the Steve Ellis, the Steve Hale, the Steve Ingrulia, the Steve the Terry Bartlett, the Tony Smith, the Trevor P. Hobby Turner, the Webfoot Resident Wood Creations, the Lively Woodshed, the Wizardry by Colin, the Woodturning by Barry, and the ever lovely Woodworm Paul.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, the people.
Wayne, I nearly didn't. Hello.
Are we doing Woodturning tonight?
Yeah.
Are we doing colouring?
Yeah.
We're doing
Does that mean not going to be singing?
I'm not doing any singing.
I didn't say that. So we're not going to hear it.
Pete from Twisted Treason and Tommy from Tommy's Woodshop.
What sort of speed are we going at, Wayne?
Around about 900.
Okay.
I did try and go a bit faster, but
Can't go any faster. We won't be able to see anything.
Yeah, it started bouncing about, seeing as how it's unbalanced.
Wayne said he was going to go fast in his live tonight. I thought I've got a spare 2 minutes.
How we doing?
Lewis, the Klondike Craftsman, is in. Mike, you from Elster's in. Elminster's in. Joey Sixty's in.
Hello and welcome.
You have fabulous 54 watching and 17 thumbs up, folks. If you like what we're doing, go on, hit that thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, give that notification bell. That'll let YouTube know that you really like his content, and he'll continue to recommend it when he posts stuff or goes live in the future.
Grand. Right, Panto. In the description, in the under the video, is a link to Makers International for Sunday night, where we've got Andy Berkey, Franco, talking about the Virtual Craft Festival.
Yeah. and the virtual craft festival is on the 29th of May. It is a day, or just under a day. It's actually 16 hours worth of your crafty excellence from around the world, including myself.
Okay. Well, I do
it actually starts off with myself at 10 a.m. UK time. Then it hands over to Nick the Flaming Turner, who then passes it over after his hour at Scott the Blue Light Tumbler, who then handles it over to Dow at Maple Tree Studios, who then handles it over to Al's Hack Shack, who then handles it over to Whitehall Pottery, which is Heidi Jacobs. And then after Heidi, we've got Stuart Farini, who passes it over to Pam from Highland Boxes. And then we've got Kez from Spirit and Bear. And then we've got Cameron Porter from Cammy's Garage. And then we've got Wayne Woodturner. He's going to be on there, who you are watching now. And then we've got the guys right over from Art of Fire doing some glass blowing again. And like Wayne just mentioned, we've got Andy, Chris and Franco doing some cooking goodness. Or Franco will be, and Andy and Chris will be trolling him. And then we've got Daryl from Dreadnought Woodshop, and then Jake doing resin casting and resin casting accessories. And the day shall be finished off with Mr. Jacobson over at the Woodshop TV.
Excellent.
Or Cole Jacobson.
Right, now as you can see, I think you can just see on here, I haven't gotten a full tenon on here. It doesn't really matter. There's not that much missing, and the chuck will hold. And I just found out about this chuck today, or these jaws today, that I've got in the record power chuck, because I've still got that lump of rhododendron in my Axminster chuck. I got this chuck bought this from Dale, and I just noticed today that the jaws on here are very similar to the ones on my Axminster chuck, in that they've got a little lip on there, which is why I put that small groove in.
Huh.
I've probably made that. I've made that a wee bit too big, that tenon. So I'll put this back in.
Oh, so it is. Oh yeah.
Don Jennings is in. Barry's Wood Creations is in. And Wendy from Toonpish is in.
Hi, Wendy.
Hello.
Michael McHugh. And Matthew Gallagher Woodturning. And David Vaughan.
Why is that not sitting properly?
I am.
I'm not.
I'm being good.
Andy's filled my workshop with dust.
Ooh.
You need to invite Wendy round.
I'm vexed.
You need to invite Wendy round and get a good dust collector.
I don't need such talent, I think, for this, for the size of the particles here. You know, Coco Woodturning's in, as is IDR Woodturning.
I'm just going to take that tenon down just a little bit more.
You got to think about only using 3 of the jaws of a chuck, ain't you, Wayne?
Yeah.
If only they sold 3/4 of a chuck, you'd be saving yourself a lot of money.
I see that's Leonard Turner saying hi, Wayne, and Worms, and hiya, Pete. Finally got my interwebs fixed. Woohoo! Good to see you all again. Folks, remember, if you like what Wayne's doing, go on, hit that thumbs up. That'll let the YouTube algorithm know you really like his content, and anyone else that shares the same tags in these videos as him.
That's better.
And if you really, 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 really like his content, you can go to the top of the link at the top of the chat and go and buy that man a coffee, which is actually buy him a bottle of wine, which is actually gonna buy him some stuff at the workshop, colours, finishes. Not so much wood because he's got a supplier for that, but colours and finishes colours and
Mostly a
finishes will
wine
always
colour.
come in handy. But mostly wine.
Right. Get some shape into this now. I'll still use the rough and gouge to start off with.
It may even come in handy later on in life for buying a steaming machine for his vocals after he's shouted "Alan" so many times. Douglas Mungham says, "Dal, have you heard any more about the house?" I don't think houses could talk, if I'm honest.
Sorry?
I don't think houses could talk.
Mine can. Mine can.
Oh,
It's called
well,
Alexa.
just like your car then.
Yeah, car can talk to it, but no, car doesn't. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yeah, it does. Anyway, yes, I have. You know, so we're going to see what happens. We're walking the path. Put in an offer. We'll see how it goes. Oh well, actually, for the offer accepted. To be fair, thinking about it. Yeah. All will be well with the world, I'm sure. We move to our own country estate. I think that's fair, isn't it, Wayne?
Yeah, near enough. Yeah, near enough.
Yeah, near enough. Gorgeous 7 acres in sunny Scotland. Jamie.
Yeah.
Remind me the next time I take a drink out of the man crafting cup. To let it sit with the lid off for a bit, and I made a cup of tea in it.
Yeah, mate, I learned that lesson tonight already, and I've only forgotten. I forgot how many years.
I might have bumped inside of my mouth. Colin is in the chat. You have 78 watching, Wayne, and only 27 thumbs up.
Thanks for coming in, guys.
Country Wood Girl is in the house.
Good evening. How are you?
I do like that shape.
I like this shape as well. That's why I tend to do it nearly all the time.
Yeah.
The good thing about this shape, Jamie, is that you can do 2 vases with it if you like. Like I'm having the thin part at the top on this one.
It can be either way around.
But you can just flip it around and have the thick part at the top.
Wayne, I've got a quick question. You don't have to stop turning, because I know you'll probably edit this down. The Hope's hollowing jig with the laser that you've got.
Yeah.
Does that accept a square bar as well, or a circle only?
Probably a circle only.
Right. Okay.
Mind saying that, it probably would. Are you talking about your easy wood tools?
Yeah.
What size bars on them?
I'll message you after the show, mate. Let's make
no bother.
Young Douglas Mungham is reaching out to me and says, Dale, GP said you had 198 hectares and a 7-bed property. That's right, Douglas. That's the one we're leaving. We're going to a much smaller property. We're downsizing.
Yeah, only by 1 bedroom though.
There was. To be fair, there was one we looked at that had 8 bedrooms. So it's just madness.
As you drive up Dale's driveway, you got to go hill, 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 hill. Mountain, mountain.
Tree. Mark Stroughton's in. Hi, Mark.
There we are.
75 watching. Right. Go on, folks. Hit the thumbs up.
Right, this is going to
Here
be
we go.
very interesting when I come to hollow it out.
Nice.
But for now, I'm going to drill it out.
Drilling.
No, what I'll do first, I'll sand it first, I think. Yeah, let's get drilly out. I'm going to use drilly to sand this.
Woo! Right, I need to practice my Scottish accent for this again. You know, I mean, with not having one anymore. Benjamin's asking have I ever been to Scotland before? If it was me for your drilly, where would you be? You'd be in the hospital in infirmary. Who would have to sound behind, and that's a catastrophe. So you better keep your hands on your drilly. Well, you certainly need to keep your hands on your drilly. If Jamie goes up to visit you, I mean, like, there was a moment when Jamie considered stealing drilly.
Yeah.
You know? Stealing.
Yeah.
And then Bryn came out. And then Bryn came out and just tormented him for the remainder of the day.
Yeah.
This, of course, is all true.
Yeah.
Douglas is asking, JP, there will not be many trees left after Dale gets loose.
Yeah.
Not sure about
It's
that.
already Wayne moved up here and it's already started to look like Vegas.
Question. How many years has Wayne been woodturning to be as good as he is? How many years have you been turning, Wayne? Or how many years? The question is, how many years have you been turning? And how many years did it take you to get good, in your opinion?
It doesn't take that long to get good, but it takes a long time to get consistently good and fast. And in answer to the first part of the question, I started turning in October of 1986.
I don't want to. I'm going to say it anyway, and I'm sure he won't. I won't mind me saying it. But Carl Jacobson is obviously a fantastic wood turner, and he's been turning ever since he was a kid. But the man will probably openly admits he cannot do duplicate wood turning.
No, that's very difficult to do.
However, I mean, you go to Carl's channel and he doesn't get over 250,000 subscribers by not being able to turn.
I tend to use lots of calibers when I'm trying to turn two or a set of things. The biggest amount, and I've mentioned this before, the biggest amount that I did was 75 wine goblets for a wedding that the bride and groom gave away as favours.
Yeah.
Couple of things out in the chat. Greg Alexander's in. Hi, Greg. Steve Ashton Turner said to Dave Oatley he reckons it's about 40 years to get as good as you. Wendy from Toonfish Crafts, though, did counter that and said it was 85 years to get as good as you are, which I feel you might want to look at. Lewis of Klondike's Craftsman said, if you take drilly, it isn't stealing, it's an abduction.
Yeah.
Right.
80 people watching, young Wayne.
Excellent. Right. I'll finish sanding on this now. Where's my airbrush?
Barry Chitty's in.
Right. I'm just using that without any paint. Stain at the moment, just to blow a bit of dust out. And now I'll move these things out of the way so I can put my lump of plywood underneath, and then we'll do some staining. And then we can get on, after I've done that, we can get on and do the inside. Right, so I'm using the intrinsic colours from Hampshire Sheen, and I'm starting off with the black. Then I'll knock the black back, and I'll go over it with ruby. There's some nice ripple around about here, which will be highlighted with changing the colours. And I think it should turn out quite nice, this.
Douglas Mungham out in the chat saying, Wayne has been turning since the year dot. Benjamin asks, would you say the beard has improved your turning, Wayne?
No. It hasn't improved my looks either.
I think of my beard as saving the world from an ugly chin. Rich the Beard 16's in. Evening, Rich.
Oh, hiya, Rich.
Hello, Rich.
How are you?
I think I said Barry Chetty's in. But if I didn't, hi Barry.
Hello.
There we are. I'm not going to bother colouring this because the majority of that's going to go. So instead of doing this one blue as the highlighted colour, I'm going to do it red or ruby, which is a darker red. I'll just get this dried off. And remember, whenever you're using a hot air gun, always point it away from the work to start off with, so you don't go spraying dust all over it.
Question from Wood Wizardry by Colin. Does anyone know how to turn off the chat on the TV? For some reason, I have the live chat on the TV too.
No.
That's
No,
Answer
mate.
your question.
I didn't even know you could get live chat on the TV.
Damn.
Now I'm just going to come back and knock that back a bit before I put the second colour on.
What grit of paper do you normally knock it back with, Wayne?
The tendency is to use the same grit as what you finish the sanding with. Now, usually I'd take this up to 400. I've only gone to 240 tonight, but it still seems to be working. There's just a little bit here that I want to get sanded out. Right, that'll do. Now you can see here, at least I hope you can see here, where the black has actually stayed in the ripple.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that'll get highlighted when I do the ruby, which I'm going to do now. Might need some more in there, but we'll see how we get on.
Oh, that looks nice.
Yeah, you can see how the ripples come through there.
Yeah.
And what I'll do, I'll leave the inside of it just plain. And I'll probably, because of the shape of it and everything, all I'll be able to do with the inside is get it to a decent tool finish. I don't think I'll be able to get it sanded in there. That's not me, by the way, that's Dale.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Forgot to switch off the mic. Just I'm vexed. Oh, hail the wood Jedi. Douglas Mungham asked, can gloss or matte black paint be used under Joe Sonia Iridescent?
What? Yes, it can. Yeah, no problem at all.
I've used that cheap black auto spray paint from Poundland before. That works. I think anything dark, any dark spray paint would work.
Oh, in fact, if I remember rightly, Lidl's might be having coloured lacquers in tomorrow.
That looks absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
Doesn't it?
There isn't any other. There's no other phrase to use. Absolutely gorgeous. Come on, folks. If you like what Wayne's doing, give us a thumbs up.
Now, this sand and sealer is soaking in a wee bit, which is why I'm putting extra on. I don't tend to put this much on, and that just means it's going to take a bit longer to dry. I will get the hot air gun on it, but I'm going to see if I can dig out my lacquer. Where the hell's my lacquer gone? There it is. Dig out the lacquer to go on a bit later. I'll just give this a bit dry. Be very careful when you're drying sand and sealer or lacquer with a hot air gun, because if you do it too quick, it'll blister. Turn the speed down.
The ever lovely Mr. Jamie Page has popped up a thing on the chat and it says practice piece before Dale says it. Lol. Oh, damn it. Hey, wait. I mean, I might be able to get in on some of this practice piece action because, I'll be closer. I'll be able to, I could earworm in person occasionally. Look at that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You could hold the camera.
I was going to say I can hold the camera.
In fact, the last person, I have bubbled that, but it doesn't really matter because I'll be knocking it back with some web racks. Turn that speed down a wee bit more. And dig out my web racks pads. Oh, God, where'd I put them? I'll just use that one.
Lovely, lovely.
Wayne, just a heads up. Little do flavoured coffee, says Benjamin. Controversy.
Yeah.
Folks, I've lost my thread here.
Little do, but Wayne don't. I've been to his house.
I do coffee-flavoured coffee.
Coffee-flavoured coffee.
Folks, for
He does pizza that looks like, or coffee that looks like pizza as well.
Folks, we are doing the Virtual Crafty again this month on May 29th. The link I've just pasted in the chat takes you to the playlist, just like last month. And it has the list of, and if you keep that one there, or you set it as you'll always be able to find the show if you go to www.virtuallycrafty.com. The running order for this month is the one and only Mr. Jamie Page at 10 a.m., Nick the Flaming Turner at 11 a.m., Scott the Blue Light Tumbler at 12, Maple Tree Studios at 1 p.m., 2 p.m. we have Al's Hack Shack, 3 p.m. we have the wonderful Heidi at Whitehall Pottery. 4 p.m. we have the very colourful Mr. Stuart Farini. At 5 p.m. we have the very Highland Pams from Highland Boxes. We have Kez from Spinner and Bear at 6 p.m. Cammy's Garage at 7 p.m. The Wood Jedi himself, Mr. Wayne the Woodturner at 8 p.m. The amazing guys from the Art of Fire at 9 p.m. The terrible threesome that is Frankie, Andy, and Chris at 10 p.m. At 11 p.m. we have Dreadnought Workshop with Daryl. We have the mad Texan resin bloke type chap, the one and only and amazing Mr. Jake Thompson. And we round up the day with Mr. Carl Jacobson at 1 a.m.
There you go.
Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. David, I don't know why I did build up drum in there. Wood Wizard by Colin asks, what's the best flavour of flavoured coffee?
Coffee flavoured.
Not even with a hint of cinnamon? Spot of chicory?
Sometimes I am partial to a flavour in the coffee, like hazelnut or something like that, but I can't beat a normal coffee flavoured coffee.
I'm a sucker for a caramel latte for a whole bunch of reasons, mostly the sugar. Richard Phelan's in.
Evening, Richard.
How you doing?
Ooh.
Jen says a gingerbread latte.
You can get behind a gingerbread latte at Christmas, Jennifer. You definitely can.
I think I've had one of them before.
Wood Wizard by Colin says coffee should taste like coffee. Lol.
Oh, sorry about
vanilla,
that.
Is that vanilla soy milk? Mmm.
Okay.
How did I get the milk out? The soybean.
Stuart and
I'll
Grulia
have to pass
says
on that
Irish
one.
coffee. Irish coffee, says Stuart and Grulia. And Benjamin says same with tea. I'm getting quite nervous for this, Wayne, because that looked really lovely before you started drilling. Are you just going to use the Forstner bit, or are you going to get in about it with a tool?
I'll be going in about it with a tool. All that bit in the side, all that bark bit, is going to go.
Stuart and Grulia tells us that soybeans have very small udders.
Douglas Mangum says with small tweezers. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Brett Bowcroft says, when camping, a little Bailey's to wake you up. 92
Bailey's
watching, Wayne.
coffee.
94 watching.
Excellent. Thanks a lot for
I have
coming
a-
along, guys.
I have a
So would you
suspicion-
be able to get away with a fake Bailey's, or do you have to use a proper Bailey's?
I feel that at whatever point in this journey, you should try for proper Bailey's.
Yes, I would say so. I remember Glyn and Joe and I being at an Indian restaurant in Scarborough, and Glyn asked for a Bailey's to finish off with. So they brought him this stuff. Glyn tasted it, sent it back, and said, "That's not Bailey's." So the owner of the restaurant sent somebody out to buy a bottle.
Yeah, because the fake stuff's made with wine and not whiskey, isn't it?
Lawrence Pegida asked the question, JP and Dale, the virtual crafty will be automatically one after the other, just as last time? It will indeed, Lawrence.
Yes.
It will indeed.
Dale's the master behind all that, so you can thank him.
Oh, just fiddling. Just fiddling. Beard 16's asking, is it just me or is anyone else buffering? You know, there's a few of us are old buffers, Rich, but I'm not sure that anyone else is buffering.
I think it's just you, mate. Saying that, I'm watching via StreamYard, so...
Brent Bokov asked, what's fake Bailey's?
It's like it's just called Irish cream. You get it in supermarkets. It comes under all sorts of names, mainly just Irish cream. But it's made with wine instead of whiskey.
Florida beard workers in.
Good afternoon, or good evening, or good
Steve
morning.
Ellis tells us the best way to drink Baileys is 50-50 with a brandy.
Oh,
Lionel's in. Evening, Wayne and Worms.
Hello, Lionel.
good evening, Lionel.
Paul Finley Woodturning at Homes and hi everyone. Chat on TV can be turned off. Bottom of the screen, left hand side. Press down on your remote and you will see 3 buttons: channel, chat, and more. Boom. Paul has clearly been doing his research. Paul watches a lot of it on TV. Well done. Folks, if you like what Wayne's doing, at the top of the chat, you'll find a link to buy me a coffee. Now,
change camera.
The best way to describe what I do with this is what it really does is it's pretending to be buying him a coffee, but you're really buying him wine. And by buying him wine, it means he has more money to spend on tools and clothes of life. So please buy the man a coffee and help us enjoy all of the stuff that Wayne does.
Need that speed turned up.
And when we say we're buying him alcohol, we actually mean methylated spirits.
It really goes towards buying me tins of Brussels, so I can have Brussels sandwiches.
Jennifer Crafts and Creation says Bailey's, Tia Maria, and vodka is the best in a pint glass. Note to self: be careful of Jennifer at any maker meet.
I think that just makes you want to meet Jennifer even more.
And jam and wine is a juice whiskey, isn't it? Well, I think it's clearly not whiskey. Just saying, hashtag.
All right.
David Ward says black only, keto rules. How is the SC4 truck? I think it is.
It's grand. It's excellent.
SC4 is my second go-to truck. My go-to truck is the Easy Wood truck, obviously.
Easy Wood truck,
for obvious reasons.
Yes, mine's aren't. I just liked it. Oh, well, that's clever. I'll have one of those.
My tool rest up a little bit.
David Nichols out in the chat and says, question. Have you used the Robert Sorby Hollow Master?
No. Brian at Hardwood Turning has got one, and he showed me how it works on when we were in a chat together. I think it was last week. To tell you the truth, I'm not keen. If the tool you're using has got a flat bottom like this one has, it'll work really well. But I think I said this on when was it, on Monday? I think I said this on Monday. Seeing as how the tool goes between two rollers, if you've got the tool is a full circle, there's nothing stopping it still twisting. If you get a catch or anything like that, it's still going to twist within the jig.
So I actually noticed last night. I quickly popped on last night to Jay's live, and that Dr. Bob had an Australian version of it. So I don't know who came out of it first.
Right. There's an American version as well. The American version has been out a long time. The difference is the American version actually fastens onto the bars. It fastens onto the bars, and you can still you can still get steady on top of your tool rest. Miss T made one not so long back. Earlier on this year, she made one like that fastens onto the bars.
I kind of feel like one of them jigs would be more of a hindrance.
It all depends on what you're doing. I mean, if you're doing something longer than this is about what? It'll end up about 6 inches long, this will, so it's not an extreme length. But if you're doing something longer, I reckon you need something like the Simon Hope one.
Yeah. I was looking at that last night. I watched Mike Walk's review on it. That's why I was asking about the square bar.
Yeah. That square, I'm sure the square bar that you've got will fit into the Simon Hope, because the Simon Hope takes a 3/4 inch round bar.
Yeah.
I'm just changing tips on this. This one's a wee bit on the blunt side, so I'm just changing tips.
Dives in the chat.
Making a better life out of that.
Yeah, making a better life is die.
Zed from Zombie Woodturning. Zed the Zombie Woodturner's in the chat.
Hi Zed. Hi Di.
Frank Bogart says he uses the Lyle Jameson rig. Robert Hodgson is saying, might as well get a full captive system if you plan to get one similar to the Simon Hope.
Like I keep on saying, the good thing about doing something with a hole in the side is all the shavings come out the side.
Yeah.
And you can actually see, let's put that back on the overhead zoom, and you might be able to see
the tool.
The tool there, you can see the tool. So you can, I can actually gauge what the wall thickness is.
Would you normally have the rest as far out when you're using that tool, Wayne?
The reason I've got it this far out is because, and again, this is one of the few things I don't like about this tool, is that because of this, the bit here, the detachable head, you've got to get past that to get onto the flat bar. So you're out about 1.5 inches there. Now I could, seeing as how I'm further down, I could move it in a bit.
But you can never fully retract it too.
But I'll never be able to fully retract it. I'll have to keep, well, in fact, it'll be easy if I move that along there. I'll have to keep on stopping to take it out. But we'll give it a go and see what happens.
Red, there's only Woodturner has only one thing to say, so red. John Foster said, wait, I'll say it in order. Wayne, do you use some wood that isn't rotten? Lol. Need. Wayne, do you need some wood that isn't rotten? Damn it.
Right, this wood isn't rotten. It's just I've left the bark. The way I've cut it, I've cut it so there will be a void in the side.
They have a lovely Joe Seniors in the chat. Hi,
Because
Joe.
I'm silly like that.
Mad. Wood Wizard by Colin saying he's getting ready to duck. Whack.
The man is
Whack.
silly. He stands the really.
Benjamin says it seems like such an obvious design flaw. He says after having bought one.
Now, the other thing with the talking about the Sorby, the new hollowing jig, if I was to move the tool rest back like that, if you imagine, okay, that's better. If I move the tool rest back like that, and if you imagine the Sorby hollowing jig sat in here and it's leant forward a bit with two rollers on, so you actually slot the tool in between the two rollers, you're losing that much going over it because that can't go inside the rollers, and then you've only got that length actually going in. So with the Sorby hollowing tool, especially with the Sorby Hollow Master tool, you're only getting about 6 inches of length anyway.
Yeah.
How am I doing? Oh, it's getting there. It's getting there.
Nice.
Mind you, on the plus side of that hollowing jig, watching Brian do it, absolutely no pressure on the tool whatsoever. It was totally steady, and he was just using a couple of fingers to hollow something out.
Oh, Hill of Wood, declares Jim Douglas Murham. Have you ever had a piece of wood that you have not liked turning, please?
I had a piece, and I don't know what wood it was, because the labelling come off, and I'd had it for a lot of years, but I did a live, I'm sure it was a lunchtime live. Dale was earworming, and as soon as I finished the piece, I started sneezing. And I didn't stop.
Funky about it.
Yeah, I didn't stop sneezing for about 6 hours. But anyway, the other bit that was on, the other bit that I had left got burnt.
Splendid. Chemicals or bugs?
Could have been.
I think it was just the wood, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
It wasn't elm. It was an exotic, but I don't know what it was. One of the worst woods for smell wise is imbuya, because yeah, exactly, because it's very much like pepper. Imbuya is.
Misfit 74 is in.
The Zombie Woodturner says, I have turned a piece of rotten walnut once. That spelt so bad. I think it means smelled so bad. I had my clothes and shop stunk for days. Today, it took several washings to get the smell out. Zombie Gazanda says, Cyprus is so peppery. Benjamin says, for future reference, a good gargle of mouthwash can help with the sneezing. Can it really? That's interesting. Does that work with pollen and what's it called? Oh, name hay fever. Hodgepodge says, I bet it's not what the size is. Interesting. One to remember. I'm going to try that next time. If you're joking, Ben, now would be a good time to speak. John Foster
changing over to the Simon Hope hollower, just to get a bit further down.
John Foster says, not often we see the cutting tool all the way to the end. And I've got to say, Zed has improved in the helpful advice from Benjamin. I think you'll approve of this one, Wayne. He says, a good gargle of whiskey works better. Ha ha.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'll go with that one.
Out of curiosity, what's your when it comes to carbides? Because I know you got a mixture of both. What's your preferred tool type, square or circle?
Circle.
All right.
I prefer the circle. What the square one rarely gets used, to tell you the truth, unless I'm doing a tenon or something. If I'm doing anything,
no, I mean the actual bar. Sorry.
Oh, the bar square, definitely. You've got less chance, especially if you've got the cutter in. Where am I? Especially if you've got the cutter in at an angle, so you sort of going around the shoulders and things like this. A square bar is a hell of a lot better because there's less tendency for it to twist.
Yeah. So Benjamin says, hey fever, yep, has to be a strong mint though.
Peter Carr comes in, says, good evening, Wayne. Sorry I'm late. Hi, Dale and JP.
Hello, Peter.
Good evening.
Have you found those stickers yet, Wayne?
Sorry?
Have you found the stickers JP left in your workshop
Oh,
yet?
no. I'll tell you the truth, I haven't been in looking.
There wasn't
Jamie,
that many.
He wouldn't let me in the workshop to improve on the graffiti you left. I wasn't allowed. You know, I got a cup of tea and show him the door. You know, I think it might have been half all the vandalism left.
Wayne's got a security system for graffiti in his workshop. It's called Dust.
I thought it was more funny that Bryn jumped up to get penalty. Zed says, well, I got to put you on the side screen and mute. Work is calling. No worries, Zed. Bad luck about having to do the work thing.
That's nice.
It's getting there. Nice. Always looking for different.
I like the fact it's still got that join at the top.
I like the fact that it's
just here.
You can empty the sawdust through the side.
Yeah.
Are you going to sand the inside?
No. That's why I'm trying to get a fairly decent cut on the inside. What I might do, I might just take a little bit of time here and just swap over a cutter. Let's have a look. What size is that?
Dr. Bob's here. He's lurking in the background. Just finishes his birthday gift nut bowl from her pecan tree.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
Next door are moving all their stuff out at the moment. There's a great big holly tree that's up at the moment, but I'm getting a chainsaw within the next couple of days, so that holly tree won't be up for much longer because I want to practice.
Mate, I want you to take pictures of all your limbs and fingers.
beforehand.
Just so you can,
What,
just
laying
so
it
you
on the
can
table?
remember. Just so you can remember what they look like.
Oh,
Well,
there
not
goes
that
my
I'm saying.
compressor.
Oh,
I'll take a picture of him laying out on the table. Just a flesh
Douglas
wound.
Murray Gazzoni asks. Excuse me, Douglas Murray Gazzoni asks. Wayne, what about the nastiest, as an awkward or dangerous piece you've ever done?
Right, I did a piece. When was it? It was January the 1st, 2019. Came out to do it. It was a piece of burr elm. As my usual, a gnarly piece of burr elm, which I was going to be doing a bit of a hollow form out of. Heard it, but sometimes when you're actually turning, you start getting a noise, and you start recognizing that noise as, I think I best get out of the way just shortly. And I heard this noise, and the next thing I knew, this, or part of this piece of elm burr flew across the workshop. Luckily enough, it headed for the bandsaw, which is over the other side of the workshop. So there was no harm done. But I carried on with it. It did actually get finished. It was a hollow form with wings. So yeah, that was a bit on the awkward side.
Benjamin goes on to say, I think we should call this piece Two-Face. You know, like the guy from Batman with two faces, so one's pretty and one's fairly rough. That's that 74 says, reminds me of the scene from Breaking Bad when Gus gets his face bombed off. The Pharaoh size of cutter.
Damn. Just moving some stuff. Me tailstock is in the way, so I'm going to have to shift that out the way. That's better.
Harry or Robert from Hodgepodge Woodwork says, I can't help but notice how smooth Wayne's hands look. Must be the Yorkshire grip.
Yep, that's where it'll be.
Mickey Prowse is in. Sorry to be late. Hi, Aaron. Question. What is the holding tool, please?
This is the Simon Hope hollow. It's one of the Simon Hope hollowing tools. This is the one with a 3/4 inch bar that usually fits into the hollowing jig, but he does actually do, let's go on to the other overhead. He does do a handle for it, for the 3/4 inch bar.
Pretty cool. Steve Ellis has this advice for you, Jamie. He says, with the holly, make sure you seal it well. Will split very easily.
I'll be honest with you. What I want to do is just not seal it and let it crack to smithereens, would be a polite way of saying. Because I'm going to let it dry out and hopefully crack it and then fill it with resin.
Right, let's have a look at this and see how we're doing.
Nice. I like it a lot.
I'm just wondering if I should drill out a bit more on the bottom to make it easier to hollow down at the bottom. Oops, that came off.
Oh no!
What do you reckon? Can you
Yeah, go for it.
just... Oh, there is the thing you want. So if I just take a bit more out of the bottom there, I should be able to hollow it out just a little bit more.
I don't know. There's something interesting about the way you can see that. Yeah, you can see the no. Just if you just I'm ultimately sure. But you know what I mean? As you're looking at it, you see that kind of interesting. It comes off the base, and then it's quite thick and opens up, and then narrows wonderfully at the top. But on the thick part, it's not just because it's thick, but you've actually got I would use the term, age and rot, dried out. That gives it a certain texture. Yeah, if you keep going, you're going to lose any sign of that.
Yeah, that's right. It's just going to get lost. Right then. I'll give this a brush down.
And then make a decision. I mean, you can already put it back in the lathe, I guess.
No, I'm going to pot this off tonight.
You know, I mean, you retain a little bit of the story of the piece.
Oops, it broke.
Bugger.
CA glue, 15% off at Starbind at JP Woodwork.
Interesting.
That wasn't meant to happen.
No. There's my tea all gone. Damn it.
Still looks nice though.
It does.
Right. Do you think I'm going to cock this up if I try and fix it?
Nah.
You're weighing the Woodturner.
Well, wait. You will if you put it in the wrong way around.
Well, there is that.
Or upside down.
I tell you what I should have done, Dale. I should have numbered them.
Damn tootin'. Damn tootin'.
Turning by numbers.
What I don't want to do is actually see it, bugger it. It's gone. I
was going to say the crack line is quite spectacular.
Right, I'm not going to sand the inside. What I'll do, I'll just give it a spray with sand and sealer. I don't mind about the roughness on the inside. Give this a bit of a spray with sand and sealer as well.
There's a super chat from me, from Dale, Sam practice piece.
Hey, what? Not a practice piece. It's work of art. I would say such a thing. I feel a conspiracy.
A practice piece does mean a work of art.
Oh.
It's a euphemism.
Oh.
Without a super chat, it's a trial piece.
You mean like butt plug as a euphemism?
Right.
When you refer to a cork you put in a water vessel.
Let's see what happens here when we'll put some lacquer on this.
Few suggestions out there. Ashpar just saying, could drill a bunch of little holes along the edges and then tie copper wire between them like a shoe. And Benjamin says, well, it was watertight until you purposely broke a bit off. It looks lovely though.
Man, that's really popping. It's kind of like the red that you use in your video intro, Dale.
It is. It's very rich. I like it.
Now, the difficulty with this piece is going to be trying to photograph it so I actually get the ripple in there and the opening as well. I think that's going to be...
Number of photographs?
Yeah. Take a load of photos and edit them together.
Just 360.
Or do a panoramic and walk around it.
What's that still?
Turn the speed down.
Turning round.
Leave it on the lathe and press the camera button really, really fast.
What I'll do, I'll not take it out of the chuck tonight. I'll show you the piece actually still sitting in the chuck. That way I can get more coats of lacquer on. Because this is going to take a good few coats of lacquer, I think. How are we doing on time anyway?
Just over an hour, mate.
6 minutes.
That's grand.
9, so.
Got plenty of time. Got time to do another one.
Wavy Woodshed suggesting put a mirror behind it when you're taking the pictures.
In fact, I'm going to take it out of the chuck.
And banter it.
No. I'll put it back in at some point. I'm just going to take it out to show you, because I don't have the spanner or anything to get this chuck off. I just usually use the in the jaws to get this chuck off.
Spanner? I don't think there was a spanner with it.
I don't think there probably was. Well, there must be some way of actually taking the chuck off.
You're right. You know, I mean, I've
I think I've got like I've got a grabby thing, a black grabby thing that holds a spindle in place.
Yeah, but I don't think there was any specific tool with it. I'll check around before I pack everything up.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, all I do, because it's a lot easier just to open the jaws up and put a piece of wood, or put the chuck key in, and then just give it a wee. Ah, that fell over. Okay, it's okay. It's not damaged.
There's a blooming great hole in the side of it now, Wayne.
Oh, it is damaged.
Oh, you're joking, man.
Oh man,
mate. Oh.
It's not champion anymore.
Oh.
It's half mint and half champion.
Right, get that there. Get yourself sorted, Wayne. Have a sit down.
Best Fit 74 says, any thought given to charring the rim?
I could do. Either that or just stick some black intrinsic on there. There we go.
You got lacquer on it now, though. Wouldn't it bubble up?
I was spraying up that way with the lacquer, so it might not have gotten very much on the top anyway. I'll sort something. But that's it anyway.
That's nice, mate.
So there we are. And if I can get a photograph a little bit like that, that way I'm getting the ripple and I'm getting the opening as well.
Nice.
So there you go, guys.
Awesome.
This will have another few coats of lacquer on. It's had a couple tonight. I'll probably put another couple on. Then I'll knock it back and then put some more on and knock it back and put some more on. So it'll end up with about 8 or 9 coats of lacquer on this to try and give it a nice glassy finish. But I'm quite pleased with that. It turned out quite nice.
Really nice,
Grand.
mate.
Right, I'll bring the guys back in just before we say ta-ra to everybody. Bring the YouTube chat up, see if anybody's been seeing anything.
I've all been saying lots of stuff, all of it good.
Good, that's what I like to hear.
William Kenny's in, says, great looking piece, Wayne. Sorry, late in. What wood is it?
It's, so I didn't mention at the start, it's ash.
Banana.
I'm gonna have to go back to a different wood supplier because he had lots of this gnarly ash and I really, really like it. Yeah, Douglas is saying good luck with the house deal.
I'll bloody need it. Anybody find it? I'll need to find it in the jungle with everything that grows up round about it when nobody's there. You get some goats, I think.
Well, they will eat everything.
Mm.
You'd be better off with a few sheep. They'll just keep it trim. Goats will just clear the land totally.
Put it in a pen roughly the size of a big workshop.
Anyway, right, I'm going to hit the button. Thanks everybody for coming along. Another one I enjoyed tonight. I'll get photos up as soon as possible. Probably put a couple of photos up tomorrow before I do some more lacquering, just so you can see the piece.
Says, cracking job, Pet.
Cheers, man.
Yeah.
I often wonder about that. Whenever Paula does something, I usually say, thanks, Pet, or that looks great, Pet, or something like that. And I'm sure people are thinking, what a sexist bastard. But she's my sister, so I don't care. Right, I'm going to hit the button, and I'm going to go in the house and get myself a drink. And probably have a chat with a couple of people. So I will see you soon. Oh, if anybody has missed it, because Yuval actually started a premiere the same time as I went live. Yuval Lahav, he's done a video. This is the first turning he's done in over a year, and he's absolutely brilliant. And the piece that he's done looks absolutely amazing as well. It's a yellow heart. Great. Yellow heart and Indian rosewood pierced piece. The lid is pierced with a finial on, and the bottom of the bowl is three-legged. So that'll be an amazing. It's the first, like I say, it's the first time Yuval's done anything in over a year. So go and check him out. Yuval Lahav Woodturning. Israeli guy based in Rome. Very nice man.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I'm hitting the button now. So I'll see you all on Friday. Bye for now.